Hi everyone, welcome back. It is week 13 of the garden tour journal. It is the first weekend in August. It is hot, it is humid. I'm pretty sure it's like 90% humidity. Not really, but it's definitely 85 degrees. That I know for a fact. And it is humid because it is sticky. The air is thick. You have to swim through it to get anywhere. That said, the stuff is taken off this week that really looks for the heat and the humidity. All of our corn is starting to tassel, even some of the late planted stuff. So definitely good things, but man, it is not a gardener's friend. No one wants to be outside in the heat and humidity like this. But I'll take you through I can talk. I'll take you through the garden and show you what's going on. The zinnias are looking pretty good. The snapdragons need to be deadheaded really bad, but we'll get there. I'm mostly caught up on weeding, so like pat on the back to me for that. Weeding is a struggle, and this time of year, even more so. So happy to see that. Flower beds, all but one, which is one I'm still trying to establish, is caught up on weeding. And I have to show you this massive sunflower at the end over in one of the flower beds. So hopefully I remember. But let's take a look here first. Isn't the sky pretty? It's very cotton candy and the moon. I'm shooting in the evening instead of the morning. So we just got back from a trip down in Western New York. I was out there because my little cousin married her wonderful husband. So happy for them, and it was a great time celebrating. But to get started here are cosmos. Need to come through and deadhead these so they'll get some more height and add some more branches. Been loving cutting them. Like when I notice one flower open like this would be a perfect one to cut way down low. Cut the flower off that's already open, and then those buds will open up in a day or two, and they're gorgeous. Caladiums look good. I haven't used up my caladiums from last year, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them this year. I like to pick them at like this stage when they're nice and dry like this in the evening, and then you pull all the petals off. So you pull the flower off, and you pull all these petals off like this, lay them out flat so they dry. They end up, kind of dried out, spent looking like this. And then once they're all dried up, I put them in a jar and put them in oil. So usually like an avocado oil because it's like a good moisturizing oil. And then melt some beeswax, strain the oil after it's been sitting for a month or two so it's nice and infused with the caladium or the calendula oil. And then that way it makes for this really nice salve. I've given that away for Christmas presents before, and people have really liked it. This, oh, there's an aphid. Caladiums are great aphid hosts, so I just kind of let it happen. All of these little green things here will turn black, and those are the seeds, and that's how I end up with them self-seeding every year. I like it, I don't mind it, so I kind of let them do their thing. I just pull whatever I don't want. The zinnias, you can see these have taken off. So I have the blush, I have the green. I love the green. I don't know what it is about a green flower, but I just love green zinnias. Glads, I really think are a lost cause for me this year. I think it's the weather. I think it's because it's so dry. These are the only, this row, the zinnias, and then the sunflower zinnia glad. I don't have any soaker hoses on those. So I think that's the problem. I think they were just lacking moisture at a vital time, and now they're just dried up and spent. So, I mean, all those glads came up. They're all brand new bulbs, so we shouldn't have any kind of issue, and I'm not having any luck. So I think it's moisture or lack of. These zinnias look really good. Need to come out and pick these. If nothing else, just to deadhead the plants, keep them going. I've had quite a few Japanese beetles, but I mean, for the most part, they don't bother the flower. They just annihilate the leaf. I just kind of let them be. It's just not worth it. If anything, I pick them and give them to my chickens. Look at this one. It's like a cupcake variety. It's a lot of petals. So cool. Those look spent. Let's see here. Tomatoes. I think some more of these are ready to be picked. I've actually liked them quite a bit if I can figure out when they're ripe. Like those ones down there look really ripe. Those are ripe. Those I like. These Cosmos look really good. Need to come through and deadhead them so they keep producing. I noticed tonight when I got back, oh look, these are the white cherry tomatoes. My orange cherry tomato looks very sad. I hope it doesn't give up on me. But I noticed tonight, where was it? One of these was blushing, I thought. I don't think it was a striped German. That's not that one. Oh, there it is, over there. Over there, over there. See it? See it? That one's starting to blush. So I'll have a big tomato soon. And then sunflowers. These look like they might be starting to get a flower. I thought I noticed a flower. Oh, there it is. So I noticed a flower. Oh, hang on. Running into stuff. There it is. Noticed a flower head. Very excited about that. These zinnias, I need to deadhead / pinch. Really need to pinch them. Otherwise, they're just going to be wimpy plants. So, come through and pinch. Been getting a lot of the Sweet 100 red cherry tomatoes. They're so good. Yep, still haven't done anything with the kohlrabi. Don't yell at me. I wasn't here. That's going to be my excuse. It's a bad excuse, but that's my excuse. Onions are starting to get some size to them finally. These glads look a little better. I'll have to try to turn on the soaker hose, but I do notice some veination. They might need some nitrogen too. Might have to try that. I have a couple of onions that are coming up in there. The garlic. Pulled a couple of my beets and had the girls try them. They loved them. Well, Emily loved them. Raylan, so-so. Snapdragons need to be deadheaded. Kind of give them time for the weather to cool back off. Otherwise, like, there's a lot of color, but they're all pretty close to being spent. Gomphrena looks good. This one's very ready to be picked. Gomphrena wiggle tested, otherwise it's going to be floppy. So, the white has not gotten as much height that I've noticed. So, we'll see. My sea holly is making its adorable little thistles. We'll see. I don't know if it branches out more than that and you can get more than one from a plant. I don't know. We're going to kind of let that one grow and see what happens. Not sure if I'll end up using that in any bouquets this year. This has really shot up, so that's awesome. That's great stem length. Yarrow, I've had a lot of yarrow coloring up. All looks really good. Lemon basil's tall. Purple basil looks a little sad. Like, it looks good, but at the same time it looks a little sad. The bugs went after the purple basil a lot more. Lemon basil, they pretty well have left alone, so I think it's just attracted pollinators and bugs have not liked the lemon, so. I love the smell of it though, it's delicious. I wish you could smell on camera, just like, it's like the sweet basil and then lemon. It's really good. More yarrow, more sage. Beans are done. I'll let them die back because they'll add nitrogen back to the soil. Usually with my beans, I just go through and cut the plant, and then any nitrogen that is affixated in the nodules of the root break down into the soil. Last year when I was pregnant and I couldn't do a lot of things in the garden, I couldn't do a ton of bending over, I planted quite a few rows of beans. Not to pick, just to add nitrogen back to the soil. Potatoes, they're getting close to being ready to harvest. The golden ones are definitely ready to harvest. Celery still looks great. I have cabbage that still needs to be given to chickens, and some that looks good. Cal looks good. Guess what? That spinach that I've said I should pull for a while is still here. This is the only row left to weed, along with all this along the fence. Otherwise, we're weeded. Cucumbers. I haven't been here to tame my plants, so one is attacking my carrots. Come back. Out of there. That is not your home. Up the trellis. I think next year I might try something where, like, I think cucumbers do a little better leaned over on a trellis, like a kind of like a teepee trellis sort of deal, more than an arch. I need to find something else to try on my arch. So, honking piece of clover. Don't notice any cucumbers yet still. Oh, here's another wild one here. You can get wrapped around here. Any cucumbers? No. No cukes that I see. I'll have to see. I don't know. These are yellow zucchini. These ones are really done. That one's kind of tender. Attack of the dill. There's one there. Oh, there's a nice funky zucchini. I don't see any else. The humidity has really brought out the powdery mildew on these plants. So, whatever. Not worried about it. I dug some of the potatoes out up from under this one already. But there's more down there. I can feel one right there. Right there. So, I will dig those here this week probably. Overall, really happy with how the garden looks, and the flowers are coming even in the heat of August, because it is hot. Oh, big sunflower. Let's go look at the big sunflower. So, for reference, I do believe the chicken run is 4.5 feet. Maybe it's 5. It might be 5 feet tall. That sunflower is a solid 3 feet over top of that. The thing is, I did not think it was going to get that tall. It's ginormous, and I don't even think the sunflower head, it is starting to get its flower up there. Like, this one has it. You can just see that one has its head, but that is huge. That is huge. I mean, great shade for the chickens. That's kind of what I do like about putting sunflowers here, but good Lanta, didn't think that was going to happen. Not going to call it a garden fail, I'm going to call it a garden surprise. And then the other thing, you have to see this hollyhock. So these are hollyhocks that came back from seed. That had like pollinated and came back. Look at this one, let's see if it'll focus on it. Focus. So all that, the frill along the petals, that, like, I did not plant one like that. And that's not bug damage. Like, they're all frilly when they bud out. Like, that's it all in budding out. It's so cool. So cool. So I hope that one seeds out and comes back again, because those are really pretty. I love it. I love it. Gotta get out of here without stepping on stuff. Don't mind me. So, that's everything that's going on. Can't even get in the shot. Massive sunflower. What's going on in the garden. I'm excited to see all the progress like I said, and start taking in the harvest for the things that I'm going to have to plug our refrigerator in. We have a storage refrigerator because our basement's finished and stays kind of warm. It's like 70 degrees, so too warm to store anything. But if I put it in the refrigerator and keep that like 40, I can store most everything without a problem. I didn't have any issues last year storing potatoes and onions together. Except for I had the fridge in the garage and it was not prepared to deal with the cold temperatures, so the stuff inside froze. But otherwise, no issue. So I was really happy about that. Yeah, so time to start dealing with the harvest and putting things up. Need to take a couple of those zucchini, a couple of summer squash, and blanch them and freeze them. I love blanching and freezing zucchini because you're usually overrun. But if you blanch them and freeze them, you literally can just saute them in the winter. And it's like you have fresh ones out of the garden. It's the best. So definitely recommend that if you are overrun with squash and zucchini. And I think that's everything. So I look forward to seeing you next week for the next garden tour journal. I hope you have a wonderful week. And that's it.